So,
coming and going.
no, just go on, but I get it back. We back on live.
Radio you can watch.
How are you doing?
102 empowering you. Wednesdays and
Loud.
Fridays from 9
not loud.
p.m. on Power
Thank you.
102
That is loud.
It is sound like confusion.
with the Dr.
You find so?
I'm telling you.
Hi, this is Dr. Raj. I am on Power 102 with Sexplosion and the Angel. It will be exciting once again.
Sexplosion with the Angel.
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on Power 102 empowering you.
She tried to catch your attention. Nah!
No. No. Don't forget when they're going up close to the mic, sir.
Yeah. Good night. Hey, cuz, how are you? My mommy is on. Sita, mom.
Great.
Raj, how you doing? Raj telling Raj hello. One of the best rams in San Randy. WP is on, so she take us early tonight, boy. Early. You want to do it?
Early.
Good night, my dear. Good night. My cousin Wahida is on. How are you, my dear? Neil Barrington. Good night after great program. Tiffany Young has joined us. Samintra Gosain has joined us. What's that? Sex song. So any other song related to sex? Get on it. Who's going to be a termite later? Varun Hiralal, Alicia Alexis, sorry.
Well, thank you for joining us once again. Hi, hello, and many thanks as always to 9 Miles International and Wally. Kicking off our evening into nighttime programming here on Power 2.1 FM. And we do welcome you to Trinidad and Tobago #1 longest nighttime running program, Sexplosion, with Dr. Raj of Total Image, your host, and the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine. And a very special good evening to you, my brother. How are you today?
Pleasant good evening to you. I'm fine.
Beautiful.
Hope you had a good week, a good
Yeah,
day.
well, I'm fair to find.
Fair to find?
Yeah.
Why? What caused that?
Nothing.
I thought you would have one of those.
It was more or
know.
less. It was more or less a relaxing day.
My long-time friend Patricia Harris is on.
Patricia.
Yeah, from Sangre Grande.
Hey, good
Former
place.
counselor.
Yeah.
Hello, good night, Dr. Raj and the rest of the crew. Zori 16. Ruston is on. So we have a nice crowd building up.
Yeah. And it's a Friday evening.
Yes, time to relax and talk about sex.
A lot of traffic outside, so I know a lot of people will be locked on.
Tuned in.
Yeah.
But if you are watching it on the app, pull aside and park.
Yeah.
If you're listening to it on the radio, fine. Remember the app is Power 102 FM Trinidad.
Yep.
So once you get that, you can download the app, you can listen to us, you can see us, you can view us. For those of you on the app viewing,
Yeah, hey, family.
pleasant good evening to you. Those of you on www.power102fm.com, good evening wherever you are in the world. Let us know, send a text message. You can get me on my WhatsApp, 7401961. You can get me live in the studio on our live messenger service.
Yeah. Power 102 FM.
Right, Power 102 FM. You can also get us on the internet, Facebook and Instagram. So we're all set to go.
Yeah.
Right, so what are we talking about tonight? Asha, you're supposed to see me. You did promise you'll come and see me, so I don't know what's happening with that. Oh, somebody asked me to talk about something, so I'm going to start the innings with that. Let's see, what was it about abuse in relationship and why women tend to stick with abuse in relationship? You know, abuse has been a topic in the forefront for a very long time, and recently, I think this year started off with a lot of incidents with women being abused and even killed. And it's a sad day when we have these things happening in our country. a country that is supposed to be loving and peaceful and, peaceful in inverted commas. Persons who are, so, I think we are very nice people by nature.
Oh, yeah.
But somehow or the other we have lost it along the way. But the person asked me that question and they want to think about the psychology of it. And there is a psychology behind it, because one of the things that happen in society is that the things we see when we are younger, the things that we see in our family, household, we tend to emulate that. What happens is that if you grow up in an environment where those things are the norm, and in some environment it is the norm, sad to say, because of alcohol, drugs, culture, they think a lot of men, especially men who are old school, what you call old school, they don't understand that you don't possess or own someone. And we had a discussion about that on Wednesday. And we got to get away from this idea or notion that we actually own someone, because if you truly love someone, you must be able to give that person the freedom to think and operate not in a container, but outside of that. They must be able to express themselves, do the things that will make them feel better and be a better person. Now, it may not be to your liking, so that's where conversation comes in. A lot of times we bottle things up inside and we tend to let it grow and fester into a sore. When you do that, all you're going to do is explode somewhere down the line. And when you explode, we all know that every person has the ability to commit a crime. We all know that. What prevents us from committing a crime is when we temper our anger, when we control the things around us, when we try our best not to do something that's going to break the law or cause harm to another human being. But if you are the individual who will bottle things up inside and eventually explode, and when you explode, you not only become verbally abusive, but you become physically abusive. You have to be very careful of that, because some person just can't hold the anger. And because of that whole idea of possession, feeling that you actually own this person and own their behavior, it's like you're trying to control everything and trying to control not everything within yourself, but outside of that. Now, self-control takes a lot. As a person ages, as a person becomes a mature into a man, adulthood, he or she have certain traits that they will bring from their childhood. Those traits are also conditioned by the things that they see with their family. That's why the manual for good living is usually your parents and grandparents. If your parents and grandparents have a solid foundation and a solid household, and there's not this amount of abuse and whatnot, and you see love and appreciation for one another. Now remember, those of us who come from the 70s, 60s and 70s, the older generation may not show love the way this generation, well, definitely did not show love the way the generation now will show love. As a matter of fact, love is a word they may not even use. But if you watch the way they care for one another, it borders on love, deep love. The things that they will do for one another. If you translate that, if you have to translate what was happening in the 60s with our foreparents, our grandparents and parents, if you have to translate that into modern language, it will translate into love, caring, appreciation. So if you see those things happening in your family, that is what you will bring from the past into the future. Because you are going to take those traits and help it to develop you as an individual. Lots of time, we don't see those good traits. We may only see the negative and bad traits. And that impacts on our brain, and it is embedded in our brain, because we kind of forego all the niceties and only see this one moment of anger, this one moment of cussing, this one moment of not appreciating the person, and that is what we take forward. We don't just take that moment and say, okay, well, that's a bad habit. That is not something that's supposed to be done. If my father behaved this way, if my grandfather behaved this way, if my uncle behaved this way, if the neighbor behaved in this way, it is not acceptable. And I am not going to propagate that or carry that into the future. Lots of time we are not strong enough to do that. It takes a strong mind to filter that garbage out of our system. And it is garbage. It's a lot of garbage. Not only because you are carrying forward bad habits, it's because you are taking those bad habits and also making it part of your characteristics. This is where the problem comes in our society. That's not what we are addressing. We are not addressing all the good things that people have seen. It is not only how hard our foreparents work. It is not only they providing for us, but it's also the way they show caring and loving for one another. And no one is stopping to say, let's interpret what they were doing to show that they care, to show that they're standing with their... And I'll give you a good example with my grandmother and grandfather, my nana and nanny. She would take care of the kids, make sure everyone is fed, even the neighbors' children. That's why she was someone who was revered in her village, a village of Bukal. And not only that, if my grandfather has to go in the land and they were reaping rice, she would go there too.
Oh, okay.
And she would stand side by side with him, despite whatever, and build a life. I don't recall ever, well, I hear him buff already, right? But the buff wasn't a nasty buff. It was just a buff, and that was it. I've never seen them quarrel, and I spent a lot of time with them. But I've never heard him say, I love you. I can tell you that.
No, never.
Never. I've never heard that. I can't say that I've ever heard that from my grandparents. But all the actions that he did showed love. Even down to the end, when both of them reached that age of getting ready to expire, they spent all that time together, regardless of what. They would spend time in the same room, talking about the same things. I will go and sit with them in the gallery and listen to what they have to say. But you always see one with the other, despite whatever was happening in the family. And as a child growing up, you'll know the things that are happening. You'll know the negative and you'll know the positive. You'll know when there's financial tribulation and you'll know when there's problems. You'll know, you'll pick up on those things, but you'll still see that strength. Move one generation forward, my mother and father, very same thing. The first time I heard my father tell my mother he loved her was 1976, 4th of July 1976. First time I heard that came out of my father's mouth. I can remember the date. Exactly the date and the time. I can tell you the exact time too.
Wow.
And it's only because of a tragedy.
Okay, so it came close
That's
to
what
home.
he said to her, yes. And I remember that clearly and succinctly. That is the words he said to her. We were in a serious accident. She was bleeding from her face, and he turned to her and he told her that. And it's the first time I've ever heard my father. And that stick in my mind forever. It will never come out of my mind. I could actually hear the words now as I say it. But everything that was done prior to that and after that showed that love. And not only one way, from both sides. From both sides. So that is what I would have taken from the past into me becoming a young man, finding my partner in life, who eventually became my spouse, and transferring that into the relationship. Now I've made my mistakes here and there, as everyone would. But I also took the information from my spouse to change me into a better person as far as the spouse is concerned. Because if you listen to your spouse, you will get the answers for the wrong things you're doing, you know. But a lot of times we don't listen to our spouse because what happens, we feel that we know more than them.
Well, as always.
And we feel we could control everything that they say, even their thoughts. And this is where the problem comes in. A lot of couples have problems, especially young couples. They have problems because they feel they're going to control you, and I control the way you think, and you have to think this way. If I tell you this black, it's black. It cannot be gray. And this, when you try to impose your way onto the other person, that is where you're going to find yourself in difficulty. If you stop and listen to your spouse and say, wait a minute, why am I behaving this way? I'm doing something wrong. It's hurting you. And if you recognize the fact that you're hurting your spouse, obviously you have to find a way out of that to stop the hurt.
Yeah.
You're not going to continue with it. Although some persons, and I hope they're in the minority, tend to think that if I hurt the person, the more I hurt them, they'll love me. I can't understand that.
As a matter of fact, I can't even see something like that.
No, but there's no logic to that.
No.
You're trying to hurt somebody so that they will love you.
No.
That don't make sense.
They don't cut at all.
And I'm not talking about only hurting the person by your action or verbally, but also physically. And some women will propagate that by saying, if my man don't beat me, he don't love me. How could you say that?
Yeah.
How could you put that into the fray and put that into the mix?
I have heard that statement by
Many times. We've heard it on this program.
Yeah.
It is not a good concept. But again, you have to stop and think, where did that woman get that? She didn't wake up one morning and say, if a man don't beat me, he don't love me. It would have come from her mother, her grandmother, her aunt, her neighbor. She would have heard it somewhere. And that is something that will be inculcated in her mind, and she will take that and take it to the literal meaning that, here what, my man had to put some licks on me, and that's the only way he's going to show that he loves me. But if you stop to think about the hurt that you're causing the person, and you say, wait a minute, let me hear what she has to say. What can I do to improve myself to make our relationship better? How can I make this better? It's good, but I want to make it better. And if it's better, I want to make it best. And if it's best, I want to make it greater. It must be something that anyone that look upon it must say, how the hell two of them does live so good, despite everything else. And that is what does have people totally confused. When you have a good living, because most of the time people don't want to know you're living good, you know. When somebody asks, boy, how are you going? Boy, I have a pain here. In the mind, good, the bitch have a pain. Good, I'm glad for you. Very rare a person will really say, boy, I'm sorry to hear you have a pain, you know. Because they ask you that question to hear something is wrong. Sometimes persons, and I'm very serious about this, you know. Sometimes persons ask you about how the family going, just to hear if something is wrong with the family, you know. Because in their eyes, you are living in a perfect world, and they don't want that. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want your children to succeed. They don't want you to have a good relationship. And those are the friends you don't want. You don't want friends like that. You want genuine friends. You want persons who are going to uplift you. You want persons when they ask you that question, they genuinely want to know that everything is going good with you. And that person must turn around and say, boy, blessings to you, boy. I real happy that you are happy. Not many of us are happy that our friends and associates are happy, you know. They ask the question, but they don't want to hear that you're happy because they revel in the fact that you are miserable. You know, misery like misery.
What, misery follow misery?
Yes, and it likes it too. That's why when I tell persons, when you see somebody is going through hard times, support them. But when you see persons are creating negative energies around themselves, run far from them. If you as a married person has a divorced person as a friend, and that divorced person is trying to push you into being separate, run from that person. That is not your friend.
Because
not because you have gone through that means to say that it's good for the other person.
What they're trying to do there is bring you down to their level.
Correct. They're not happy for you because you're not in that. They want you to come and join them. They want to pull you down to that. So that's where a lot of problem comes in, even in friendship. When you do these things, you end up having a situation where you can't really deal with it. Now let me give you another example. One of the things that happened in Trinidad is horning. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
All you know that? Something called horn? Yeah. All you know that? All over? Yeah. You sure about that? Yeah. No, Trinidad. We deal with Trinidad. If you have the percentage of people who are in a relationship with a deputy, infidelity is rampant in Trinidad. No two ways about that. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but it's rampant. Imagine you have your wife, you're in a relationship with your wife, things are going good, you have a family. But for whatever reason, you decide to step out of the marriage and you meet a woman who also is married, she has a family, but all you hook up. For whatever reason, all you may have known each other before, is a neighbor, is a friend of a friend, is somebody you knew when you were younger, is somebody you just met, however it is, but you get to like the person and always start having a relationship. Imagine that person now wants to control your life with your husband or your wife. You know they have people like that.
Oh yeah. A lot.
A lot. That is where the problem comes in. Because I tell persons like that, get out of that relationship. Because if you have, well, I'm using this word loosely. If you have a happy relationship with your spouse, and the other person has a happy relationship with their spouse, and all you meet for physical attraction, sex, whatever, I have no right to control your household or control you or what you do. And you have no right to control mine. Absolutely none. That's why when you ask the question, how is your husband and family? Or how is your wife and family? Everybody okay? Everything okay with the family and thing? It should be genuine. It should be from your heart. It shouldn't be that I'm listening to that to hear that your son on drugs or your husband doing this. It should not be. And if I see your husband, with all respect, I shouldn't look down on him. And vice versa. But there are persons who use that to guff up themselves, to make themselves into something more than they are, simply because they're in a situation where they want to control. And that also leads to a lot of problems. Persons step out of their relationship for many, many reasons. And we must understand that. That's why ownership does not count. If you cannot provide, and I'm not talking about financially, sometimes emotional support for someone. Now, we have a saying that old fire stick easy to catch.
Yeah, so they say.
So if you had a girlfriend from the past, and that person comes back into your life, the chances are things might happen. I'm not talking about sexual here. The person might meet you and say, hey, how feelings? But not only feelings, you meet the person, being the nice person that you are, Junior, will say, well, let's have lunch tomorrow. Innocently. Innocently, she meets you, you all have lunch, and you decide that she tell you, well, you know, I always have feelings for you, and you say, well, my feelings for you have never changed, and all of a sudden there's lovey-dovey going on, you like it, you forget all you just meet.
Yeah, what's your name?
Right now, she name there. But these things happen because you cannot control what happens in the brain. How could you control that? If I am in love with someone, or I like someone, or this person was my friend, and I never had the opportunity to tell the person how I felt about them, and suddenly one day later on in life, you meet, and you have the opportunity to tell, you know, I always like you. I always thought you were special. And that person may take it a step further and say, well, I always like you too, and you know, you're the only man I ever thinking about. So what about your husband? Well, I really don't think about you. That takes it down a different road. Because what happens is the person is opening up the door for you to step in. Now, if you meet that very same person and say, you know, I've always have a thing for you. And she say, I know that. I also, but, you know, we have gone our separate lives, and I am cool in my relationship, and I don't want to do anything to jeopardize that, and I would not like to hurt you and your spouse. You know, you all will remain friends.
Yes.
You know that? Because you'll have a different respect for the person. But the minute the person opens the door and let that toe in, or the toenail, you know you're pushing your foot.
Well, you're not even wiping your foot on the mat.
You're pushing your foot.
Right in. Oh, yeah.
And that is basic human nature. That's what we do. We are hunters. Generally, we hunt. And the minute you give us the opportunity to aim that arrow and let it go, we're letting it go.
Oh, total breakdown.
And if you stand in the way, you get shot. If you don't stand in the way and you dodge it, it's gone. But we will let go that arrow at you. And nothing is wrong with that. What happens is where you take it after that moment. You know, I always tell you about this friend I have, very special friend. I happened to be looking at her recently because of a group. We've been talking a lot, and her picture comes up a lot because she was one of the subjects of... I told you I always walk around with a camera when I was in high school.
Yeah.
That was my number one thing. I had thousands of pictures of high school from Form 1 all the way down to Form 5, and even university. I lost a lot of it because of flood and whatnot, but I had a lot of pictures. And to this day, that person is so special to me. And there was never, ever an intimate moment between me and that person. Ever. When we met in university, after I came back from the US, we went to the same university, UE. Well, of course, she was doing her bachelor's, I was doing my master's. We would go for lunch, and we will chat and sit, you know, have all these conversations, and there was never a moment that I will think that I should take this person to bed. Because I value that friendship that we had from day one in high school till now, till today. And that will always remain so. And that's something I'm proud of myself, because she's a very attractive woman. Anytime we have a gathering with our past students and whatnot, everybody wants to be sitting and talking to her. But the fact remains that Even if I'm saying it now as an example,
Yeah.
but it has never crossed my mind that this is what the relationship should blossom into. And once you could maintain that, that's why when you talk about a platonic relationship, a lot of times people don't understand this word platonic relationship. You can have a relationship with a woman that does not include a physical relationship, a sexual relationship. It's strictly platonic. And I learned that when I was in university. It's something that I propagate in my life. I have lots of female friends, and there's nothing physical in that.
It's just their friendship, basically.
Their friendship is what is important to me. And that is something that you must learn to develop within yourself. Not every woman, no matter how attractive she may be, you'll want to go to bed with. You should not want to do that, because you should know where to draw the line. You should have that level of respect and appreciation for the person not to go over that line.
Only the other party.
Even if the other party comes on to you.
Yeah, but this is, yeah.
But you have to be careful, because sometimes when a woman comes on to you and you don't take up on it, that could become your worst enemy. Eh?
But she could say, hey boy, he's a mama fool man. He afraid it. He don't like to watch it.
Like you went through that already?
No,
you
no.
know the words.
I
No,
read-
just making sure.
I read it in a book.
Good night, Dr. Raj, Junior and the Angels. Have a blessed night listening on the radio from Mark Anthony Ramki soon. Sunita is on, Nalini is on. Wayne McDaniel, our friend over in Tampa.
Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida.
And
Your good friend, and I always appreciate the fact that you introduced me to him.
He's a good guy.
Good guy.
And Mr. Edinburgh. Say good night, family, Dr. Raj, the Angels.
Pleasant good night to you. And Angie, how are you, my dear? I haven't seen you for a while. And you know, Angie's a friend of mine that sometimes where she works, I'll just pass in to say hello to her. Yeah. Hello, Dr. Raj. 67 is my season and 68 will be great. I think he tried something on you. I don't have to tell you what. Yeah. Sushila, the beautiful Sushila. That's another woman that is very beautiful. Jenna, a woman I grew up with, she's over in New York, and my darling cousin Anne over in Montreal, Canada. Avian, Vishnu, correct, you're supposed to learn from the bad habits and try to be much better, not follow the same path. That is so true. Paula, that's Paula Tiloxing, she's also on. Good night, my dear cuz. Blessings to you always. Indira. Sweet Indira. That's all I'm going to say.
She's sweet?
She's a very, very lovely woman.
Ah, is that right?
Yes. Wayne says, Sunday we will be the same time as all you. Yeah. Time changes. They move forward.
Yeah.
This Sunday.
Yes, and they're coming back. They're
Yeah,
coming
spring
back.
forward, as they say. Susan de Montrechard Chase says, good night, Dr. Raj. Good night to you. Jenny Lachman is on, as always. Good night, Dr. Raj. Jenny Lachman locked on to the #1 program. Thank you very much. You have made it #1, because if you all don't listen to the program, it can't be #1. Michelle, Jimmy, Sherian, Ryan, Rishma, Stephen. Hey, Stephen, how are you, my friend? Videsh, Gayatri, and Wayne says, Dr. Raj, it's 44 years for Cheryl and I. Congratulations, my friend.
Oh, the married so long?
Yes, 44. He's
44.
10 years ahead of me.
Yeah, and he's 90 ahead of me.
Don't forget both of you of same age, eh?
Yeah, but we're in school together.
Well, no, I'm
But
just
I
saying
didn't
that
know.
because sometimes you'll want to make a wisecrack and just bat in your crease.
That's a good brother.
Lisa Marie, Shavana. So, with that, we take a break.
Yes, definitely. Well, taking return, it's now 25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Sexplosion, exclusively on this Friday evening on Power 102 FM. I can see I want to take back that tea home, boy. Oh, Jesus.
I ain't got a cup to start with, you know, man. I'm looking for it and I can't find it while you're talking, you know.
Protect your home and loved ones with more security.
Like that tea on the low. Oh, Jesus. Look like I taking a leak in the bathroom. Coming out so slow.
Thank you, you know.
Thank you.
You always have to judge something about my
Strikes Watchdog built-in home automation system allows you to control your lights and cameras from your phone.
You know you're going to tell us something about that. Yeah?
Protected to all
I know he's going to tell us something about that. No, nothing.
Oh, Jesus and nature.
Call all pro security.
I can see the bottom of the cup. It's like going maracas and they tied out.
I got just the
No, it's a 3 hour, So
0600.
first time in a long time I've ever drinking and see the bottom of the cup. I always, the cup up.
Startups, entrepreneurs, and small businesses.
Yeah, I've seen the bottom. Made in China. Made in China. Holy shit. I'm drinking from a related cup.
299-0209 extension
No, leave him there.
299-0209 extension 2661. Find us on Facebook.
You can't satisfy them, you know.
Business Incubator or visit www.cedcari.com.
Roseanne, Rosie Rose, Williams, Elliot, Neptune, Alicia Sigobin. Adiole is on. That was good.
Connect, detect, and protect your vehicle with Amber GPS. Professionally installed by all Pro Security. Park with confidence by activating Amber's Sentry mode.
Rigel, how are you?
Parking shield.
Rihad.
Amber's panic system is also included
Darren.
and monitored 24/7 by all Pro Security.
Street
Shut down
50,
and recover
50,
your vehicle
27.
with the touch of a button. Get real-time alerts, track fuel and maintenance expenses, save on insurance, and drive secured with Amber GPS. Also
Good night to
required
Dr. Raj,
Amber's
Angels. I'm sorry
fleet management
how
system
you
from
all
as low
might
as
say
$150
it's set
per
up,
month
but
per
I've been
vehicle. Get
hell of a
Amber
week for my family and myself.
299-0600 or
That's from
visit
Sexy Lioness. She's supposed to be visiting us.
www.security.com.
I haven't heard from her.
For you to enjoy, and many victims of car theft feel helpless at that dreadful moment, not knowing if their car will ever be recovered. Don't let this happen to you. Get car safe from Air Support Tactical.
I don't know why this is not automatically going up.
100% recovery rate using
What's
the
that?
military trade response teams and
Computer. You're getting internet though.
Call Air Support today.
I see his jacket, right? Yeah.
725.
Check out his jacket. Feel
Air
it. Yeah, do so now.
You have a Michael
Pull
Jackson.
it, hand across.
You have a Michael Jackson jacket.
You feel it too hot in that. You don't have no blood in it. You have plenty of that. Don't say you don't have that. You have plenty of that. Yeah, show she waited. Show she, go high up too. And go in the back. Go in the back too. And the front, oh God. No. Remember what we have seen before?
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on Power 102.
Where do you all want to see?
Empowering
You
you.
want to see now? In the middle of the program,
Doctor of Sex, Dr. Raj.
Hi, this is Dr. Raj. I am on Power 102 with
Not junior band, junior and Raj band.
exciting once
Win saying junior band when they win panorama.
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on Power
We dig into
102. Empowering you.
Well, taking our time is now 21 minutes before 10 o'clock inside Sexplosion on Power 102.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine, where the sex doctor treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Now, for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone, feel free. Our lines are open 2228255, also at 6128255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining, exclusively on Power 102 FM. Yeah.
Ariole, I apologize. I know you did ask me for the protocol for the cleansing of the arteries, and I'll give it to you now. Equal parts of ginger, turmeric, and garlic. So if it's 1 ounce, you make sure it's 1 ounce of each one of those ingredients. You take it, you blend it together, You grind it together and you create a paste out of it. You can put a little bit of asafoetida or hing in it. You take about a tablet size of it every morning. Don't use anything but water after you take it. Leave it in the system for a few, maybe a few minutes, half an hour to an hour, and then you can have anything else after that. That helps to clean out the arteries. That was given to me by Dr. Kanti.
Okay, we have a caller on the line. Hello and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening. Could you pull the volume down on your radio for us and listen to us on the phone? Thank you very much.
Just now,
Yes.
it's like we have friends and you and them very have a good interaction, you know, have very good communication. And sometimes you find people now that you have a very good communication. You have a better communication and even your personal relationship home. But you as the individual that don't know how to control it. And then they have some women. I remember my first my wife. You couldn't talk to nobody, no female whether you know them or you know them. It's like you must not know interaction with them at all. You know that problem after, and then we had the event there, but we separate ways because that was how she was thinking that them they can't believe that you could have a friend without having anything physical.
That's a difficult, yes.
Even in Trinidad society is that accepted. And once you want somebody, you want to opposite sex close, is like you have to have something going on.
Yeah.
And one day never experience that, they feel nobody else can have that. And one day accustomed with being friendly with somebody and have something physical going on. They just can't believe that could happen, that's possible. They can have a contribution.
Yes, that's a wrong concept. Persons must understand and realize that you can have a conversation with someone. Not every woman you meet will want to go to bed with you or you are going to bed with. And that's the difficulty, you know, like when somebody make an accusation like that. Let's say, for example, in your interaction or your work, you're interacting with, let's say, 25, 30 women. You can't be going to bed with all 25, 30, but there are some persons who will think that. Oh, you're so nice to them because you're having sex with all of them. And everything is equated down to sex. You know, you could have a sexual relationship with someone and nothing else. It's just sex.
That's it.
There's an other side of the coin. Person just like you and they decide to have sex and they have sex with you and after that they don't even want to talk to you or have anything to do with you.
Well, yeah.
That could also happen. Anything can happen. You can have sex with a person once and that person could refuse to have sex with you after, you know. Not because you have sex with a person once means to say that you are entitled to have sex with that person again, you know. And that's where we get tied up also. So when we bring it down to a sexual equation, and everything is about sex, 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 and sex, persons who are very fickle-minded, who are not strong within themselves, their constitution is very weak, they would think that if my partner, if my spouse speak to the opposite sex, they're having sex. They cannot fathom the fact that, hey, he or she is just simply talking to this person because they know them, they grow up together. It might be a cousin friend, it might be somebody they know from school. It may we have a schoolmate that I could talk about right now who cannot interact with us because her husband of now will not allow her to interact with her classmates that she went to school with.
Wow.
And I'm talking about we are out of school, high school, 44 years now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. But she cannot interact with us.
But he's a jealous person. Or
I don't know.
possessed?
He's a Anneli said boy.
Okay, well, he's a cunning person.
No, he's that. Yeah. You can take out the ink.
No, but I can't see. I mean, you.
No, but that's how stupid some people can be. That the things, okay, there are certain things that gives you pleasure in life, and not only sex.
Yeah.
Bonding is one of those things. Bonding with the people who you love or who were part of your life when you were in those formative years is also very important, you know. Lots of time we don't pay attention to that, but the persons that we would have come into contact with in our formative years, and I'm talking about adolescent into puberty into adulthood, those are the persons who would have impacted on you, you know. Today, for the very first time in about maybe 15 years, this person calls the office and say, he's so and so and he would like to speak to me urgently. Well, of course, I was with someone, so the secretary said, well, he's with someone right now. Can I take a message? Well, I know, and he started to call out names of people, but of course my secretary don't know those names. So as soon as I was finished with the person in my office, my secretary called me and said, there's a gentleman on the phone. Well, he hung up. There's a gentleman on the phone. He left his number. He was talking about so-and-so name and so-and-so name and so-and-so name. But she gave me the correct name, and I'm like, I was at a loss to figure out who the hell is this person. But of course, when I saw the number, the names that he called, I knew there was some kind of connection. So I called him. Hello, who is this? Raj, how are you going? All right. Who is this? Tell me who it is. The first gift for your wife. I say, you mean my cousin? Because I immediately knew. He went to the store to buy the gift for me. I saw it, I pointed it out, but I couldn't go and buy it. He went and buy it. So immediately when he said that.
From all the people like the UNC and PNM.
Well, when we done the UNC and the PNM go join we.
According to Sparrow, right? 10 to 1 is murder. And I figure it's have more woman and man.
No, it ain't more woman and man. Get that out of your head. It's not true.
It's not that woman and man?
It is not true. That is not true. That's a fallacy in Trinidad.
Where feel the ratio is, Raj?
1 to 1.
1 to 1?
Yeah.
So
according to the statistical office, the CSO of Trinidad and Tobago, it's almost 1 to 1. There's about 5,000 more women than men, but it's not 5 to 1 or 10 to 1 as people say. It is not
1 to 1. 1 to 1. What's that? But if we take unsatisfied women,
dissatisfied.
A man like you, I want to make you the president.
Okay, I will be the president. One of the angels here is saying that right now in Sexplosion, in the studio, it's 3 to 1. Licks like fire.
You see what I'm saying? Just between me and all in the studio, we have a difference in opinion.
No, not a difference of opinion. She is saying that right now in the studio, it had 3 to 1. So maybe she wants you to come down here to balance it out.
Raj, listen.
Ask your wife if you could come.
I tell a young boy that I know you from the time you had the gym in the mall. You know me, I know you.
Okay.
Right?
We know one another.
We had to go forward.
Right, we're moving forward.
Because I figure this kind of business, it warrants a serious, because the country is a mess.
Right, and we have to change it.
Not only our rationale for being dissatisfied is not that. And I figure, a man like you, the best place to start with being satisfied is being satisfied in your area. Sexual, pleasurable, where is he?
Yeah,
definitely that is what we're going to do, and I accept the presidency of the dissatisfied women of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, my brother thought I was in Parliament there for the last 5 minutes. And I was
Madam Speaker, couldn't you stop the guy and say, well, we got your point? But as a matter of fact, Douglas Trini 77 says, I agree, Angel. But if she comes down here, it will be 4 to 1. You know, 10 to 1 is murder, so we don't want to make it 10 to 1 at all.
Want to go that way at all.
And then I listened to a guy today saying that he had 3 to 1 with the training of the mistresses, the dominant mistresses. This guy said that he never had a 3 to 1 in his life. And he was totally satiated. You know, I sent out 2 broadcasts concerning the B and the S&M club that we have now that we are creating with these 3 mistresses who are training to be dominant mistresses. And boy, them learning fast, boy.
When I say back on top, that kind of thing.
They want you to come for training too. That kind of thing.
That kind of thing.
No, not so hard.
No, damn. Holy mackerel. So the tiny.
Wait. So you just beating yourself right now in the studio? So could I invite them to come down? One of these. Here what they do. First of all, they make sure you are.
What is it all about right here?
Taken care of. They treat you like a man. Which means just say they take you to the shower, they make sure that you're okay.
The soapy and stuff.
Everything. And they come out of there now. Of course, you might be a little nervous, Junior, because you get it trimmed down. You get it trimmed down real good.
Especially the baby in cold water.
No. I don't think they don't use cold water.
They don't use cold water?
No, they don't use cold water. And then they blindfold you.
Blindfold?
From there on, you're blindfolded.
Uh-huh.
So you are in their hands. But of course, you have a safe word that you can use if something is going too far.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Anything.
Okay. Yeah.
First thing they do is to take you into their chambers. I can't tell you where the chambers are because then you'll know and you'll want to come.
Not in the Red House.
And then they proceed, 3 of them proceed to go through their ritual. There's a ritual that they do of bonding you, tying you up. And then the light caressing and spanking starts, and then you will direct how hard you want it.
Oh,
and I know the kind of man you have leather back, you go take a real whipping.
No, they take
from half a mile away, they're just dropping you from there. What up?
Oh, so what they
well, they
do
have
is
different implements,
yeah.
some of which they have not shown me as yet because they say they're keeping some a secret in case I ask for it to be done. So I'm holding back and waiting. I patient and I'm a patient man. Well, at times, it depends on what it is.
Well, but you say we make them tremble. What, like,
Oh.
Okay.
Beautiful. Huh? Okay. I hear you.
Do you want to repeat that today? Do you want to repeat it today?
I hear you. Okay, I according to the white person, I've got the picture. Not the picture. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Mm-hmm. So
wait.
So this is what it's all about.
But I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
When I first started off, I sent out a broadcast for individuals out there who are interested, male or female, it doesn't matter. I got 3 male and 1 female responding, of which they were chosen. There were others who responded, but they weren't fitting what was being looked for.
Okay.
They were more into something more sexual as opposed to bondage and discipline. This is B&D we talk about. We're not talking about S&M. S&M is sadism and masochism, which is another step from bondage and discipline. Sadism and masochism, there's a lot of pain in that. There's a lot of suffering, which I don't like. And I don't think that the mistresses want to go that far. They will go to us, one of them especially. One of them especially. She will go far, real far. So you have to be careful with she. I call it no names. If you call him, I'll whistle. If you point, I'll whistle.
She, okay. Yeah, no, sorry of myself. Yes.
So, wait. So, the first guy came, and everything went smoothly, very smoothly. He used his surf words a couple of times, and things worked out well. The second guy came, they were left alone, they did what they had to do, and they gave me a report, and they said that the guy was very satisfied. Well, I spoke to the guy afterwards, and he told me he was very satisfied. He's looking forward to coming back.
Okay.
He's looking forward to coming back. So right now, since I put out the 2 broadcasts with the words of the persons who went through it, because I did not want to put my words, I asked them, could you please send me a message with how you felt? And I asked them for permission to rebroadcast what they're sending. So I rebroadcasted it, so persons out there would know exactly what they felt, the persons who came to get the experience. Since I've sent out that broadcast, Junior, I can tell you they're fully booked next week with about 8 or 9 persons for the week.
8 or 9?
So
8 or 9 coming to get the cut.
Women and men from far and wide, all over Trinidad and one Tobagonian, some very far in Trinidad, some very near. As a matter of fact, one of the guys who came today was from very far. One of the guys who came before was from very near. One is living right around the area, and so forth and so forth and so forth.
So far,
so you'll have to book your spot.
Yes. So far, the response you've been getting is more male or more female?
I will say more male, but already I can tell you something. The mistresses had 2 female prior to that they were working on. So they know what it is like.
Oh, okay.
It's a joy to get the report afterwards. It's very exciting to know that you're creating this thing. You're taking 3 young minds, 3 persons who have the potential to, let me tell you something. To dominate someone, if you don't have it within you, you can't do it, It's not a learned behavior, you know.
Or something
It must be natural within you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nobody can tell. If you are timid, submissive person, nobody can come and tell you to change that and become this, you know. It's difficult because you wouldn't have the mindset. When you have the mindset, the right words come out of your mouth, the right feelings come out of you, and you do the things that are going to cause the stimulation that you're looking for and the person is looking for.
Okay, but let me ask you as a sexologist, what is the difference between bondage and the other level?
S&M?
Yeah.
S&M, the person doesn't have a say.
S&M,
Take what you're getting, and the person who is receiving
Yeah.
wants you to do whatever you want, including drawing blood.
Yeah, okay.
They go to the extreme.
They go,
go to the extreme. It's very extreme in anything that they do. B&D would include some golden shower, some things that the person would want because they want to feel dominated. You know, you can take it to different levels. Again, there are different types of sexual play. And when you're using something like bondage and discipline, you're taking that into a realm where you're trying to excite that person at a different level. If you have been through the rigors of doing the mundane things when it comes to sex, it becomes boring. Now you're looking for something different. And a lot of couples, a lot of single individuals, they are looking for something like that. Now, of course, all those who come to the first training, it's free. There's no charge for that. Afterwards, it's a different story. Because I'll tell you something, when their mistresses become as professional as I think they'll become, boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Who in dead, badly wounded. Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
No.
Because I'll tell you something, they will take you to a point where you yourself did not think that you can go in. And the person who had the experience today said that, I never believed I would have done so and so and so. Or this would have been done to me, and I would enjoy it. As a matter of fact, at one time he was thinking that, I hope they don't think badly of me because I enjoyed this. Whatever it was. Because sometimes you ask the person to do something to you that you yourself is like, did I just say that?
Yeah, but in a case like this, while this is going on, the person always being blindfolded, or they could look.
It will have a time they can take it off. But as at the beginning they're blindfolded, because when you are blindfolded, excuse me, you raise the other 4 sensories. Sense of taste, smell, touch. Well, of course you can't see, but the sense of hearing.
Yeah.
Those sensories are expanded. So I'm sure, because the guy one of the guys told me this, that he actually asked one of the mistresses to spit in his mouth. That's what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you. You can grow. I wish people could see. Show your face.
No, I'll have the coffee. Spit family.
That's what he said.
I don't spit in the road. I don't even spit in the road. He does about spit.
Well, that's how far the person went. That's what the person wanted. As a matter of fact, one of the persons who contacted me asked me if one of the girls will urinate on him. That's golden shower.
Well,
right, but that's what the person asked for. But what I'm telling you is that nothing is done to you that you don't want, you know. It's what you want. But at the same time, it's what the mistress wants to do to you.
Oh, okay.
Because if they're not in agreement with what you want, they're going to tell you no. It's not going to be done. Because they are in control.
Yeah, okay.
Or they'll ask you, how badly do you want this? What are you going to do for this?
Yeah, but could you imagine? You put yourself in that position and say, darling, I really wanted to spit in my mouth.
Like you have spit in your mouth, you can't talk?
I tell you. But so far.
Oh, the person is on now.
Yeah, but what is spittery?
The spittery, not the spittera.
Not the spittery.
Yeah. He's on right also. Yeah.
But some people.
You want someone to do that?
No. Some people. Yeah. No. Some people might think different. No, you don't mind if you want to go to the extreme on your real season.
No, well, you see. Let me cut you off.
But you have to be afraid if the person have the cold.
Well, oh God, come on. Come on. If the persons who are doing it is not up to standard and not up to good health and whatnot, if they're not attractive or whatever, you will not want those things happening, of course. Because you're interacting with them before, so you must know.
Yeah.
You must know.
You must know the level of thinking too.
Exactly. So you want to make sure. But again, it is, for example, there's one guy who requested face sitting. You know what they call face sitting? Where somebody actually sit on your face. Well, one person asked for that.
You need a smoke screen.
No, you need a gas mask.
No,
but everyone has a fetish. Everyone has something that they enjoyed happening to them. They would like to experience for whatever. Like one guy said, you know, it was his bucket list. This is what he wanted to do. Wow. Another person said that after he read what the guy bucket list was and how much he enjoyed, he wants that to be part of his bucket list. But again, now of course the woman would react differently. Like one woman, she contacted me and she said, Raj, you know the things I like. And I'm like, sweetheart, the last time I spoke to you was 5 years ago. You did tell me everything you like and not like, and what you think I will remember that? You know what? Thousands of women I spoke to after that. No, exactly. She said it's true. And she went on to, she told me she wanted to be dominated by a female, totally dominated by a female. Now this is someone who's married, but she wants to be totally dominated by a female and everything done to her and vice versa. If that's the person's fantasy and if that is what the mistresses are capable of doing, of course it's with their consent. Yeah. Once they decide, yes, I want to do this, it happens. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be a combination of 2 and 1, it could be anything like that. But what happens is that when the request is made, however you interact with that would be dependent on the person.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, folks, taking our time, just let me catch my breath here. Got all tied up. Taking our time, 7 minutes after 10 o'clock, you are listening to Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj, round the 9 of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. We'll tell you what we are going to do is take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
You have somebody spit in your mouth?
I held it out on my head.
What's that?
That's interesting. I learned. I'm doing Sexplosion 18 years now, and I learned something new tonight.
Hey, Bert, how are you?
I feel
that distracts and takes away from my program. Do not do it. I'm very serious about that.
Protect your home and for security watchdog wireless burglar alarm system. Call 299-0600 and get protected from $500.
And if you get a wrong text, your whole mood will change and it will change everybody inside here. So do not do that.
When trouble strikes, Watchdog's built-in home automation system allows you to control your lights and view cameras from your phone. Watchdog is protected to all Pro Security's command center, where professionals respond quickly 24 hours, 7 days a week. Call All Pro Security at 299-0600 and get Watchdog installed for just $500. All Pro Security for home or business. Call 299-0600 or visit www.allpro.com.
I did not want anybody to know that it was you, or that I was talking to the person. I wasn't saying
ready to grow your business?
I was
then the
talking
Career
to
Business Hatchery is the program for you. Learn how to target the right market, manage your finances, and develop winning business pitches, and get weekly one-on-one coaching. Call us 299-0209 extension 2661. That's 299-0209 extension 2661. Find us on Facebook, Career Business Incubator, or visit www.cedcarirr.com.
Power up your Saturdays on Power 102 FM. With the best music and personalities to power your day.
Suzette Singh, Jennifer Mohammed, how are you?
Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gayman, and the ultimate DJ Shane.
This is Capri. This is Power 102.
Power up your Saturdays on Power 102 FM. The power of music.
What? What? You wouldn't believe how much.
All day on a Saturday on Power 102. Empowering you.
Because you all are not training now. See, way beyond all the training. Believe me. Way beyond. I talk about it in the day. But What year that was, boy? 2000 and,
For you to enjoy, and many victims of car theft feel
2000, 2005.
not knowing if their car will
And I was a top person doing that.
Don't let this happen to you. Get car safe.
Way beyond that now. Way beyond.
Maintain a 100% recovery rate using their military trained response teams and advanced
Cheers to you, ladies. Oh, no, well, forget now. Cheers to you, ladies. Because I never cheer with you all of them.
I have to start giving people a booking now, you know, because we're just going crazy.
This is good.
Don't want single male, female, and couples.
Your partner say he's watching us on his laptop. It is in full picture of the studio.
That's good.
You know who's that, right? Wayne.
Yeah, I know who for here is my partner, no? There's only one partner I have in life.
On Power 102, empowering you. With the Doctor of Sex, Dr. Raj.
Glad the ladies had a good time next weekend for sure. Thanks again.
It will be exciting once again.
Sexplosion with the angels.
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you.
Sexy Lioness just sent me a text message.
Well, I tell you, when it comes to nighttime radio, we are always one step ahead with a beautiful blend of sex education, exclusively on Power 102.1 FM, with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out of St. Augustine. Well, for those of you who would love to interact with him, something sexual that might be bothering you, feel free. This is the forum for it. 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. Yeah.
Ladies, Andy has joined us. So please say hello to Andy, our good friend Andy.
This song. For a minute, I thought it was, hey, these angels, we got them. This thought was a singing group there, no?
Well, they are.
They sound like Gladys Knights and the Pips. We are the Pips, they are Gladys Knights.
I think we're down to the pits.
Yeah. Yeah, so we were saying, so far you're getting the response. A lot of people are responding to that.
Yeah, boy, I'm not shocked. I'm pleasantly surprised that a lot of persons responded. But I think after years of building trust in individual and whatnot, they would respond to that. So let's get back to what we were talking about prior to that. Individuals and the way they behave with persons who are in a relationship with, but the persons have commitment. If you should be happy for that moment that you can spend with the person and leave it there. I mean, you'll say hello, how you going? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Those kind of things, but not what you're doing. Who you with? Why you so? Who you talking to? How come you was on the phone and you respond to me? God, I childish children, dotishness.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It is.
If somebody sends me a message, what is it?
I know. That's very stupid.
Yeah, if somebody sends me a message and I don't respond, it's not that I'm not responding to you, I'm not responding to you as yet.
Yeah.
When I have the time or when I feel it's appropriate to respond to you, then I will respond. Because sometimes you may respond in anger, sometimes you may respond in frustration, sometimes you may respond to the person because you're just vexed with the person. Like, why the hell you texting me all the time? Why are you asking me these questions? You have no right to ask me. Not because you are going to bed with someone gives you the right to control your life outside of that moment. So that moment when you're in bed, you control the moment there, you have your sex, you do everything, you're happy. Once you step out of the door and you go home, you have your life to live, I have my life to live. Whatever you choose to do outside of that, it's like when somebody working for you. On your compound, during your work time, give me what I pay for, which is your labor, your attention. That is what I'm paying you for. Your brain, right? If I hire you as an analyst, be an analyst. Don't be on the phone playing a game. Don't be playing a crossword puzzle. Do not do those things. Do what you're supposed to be doing. It's the very same thing with a relationship. Once you go your separate way, you could do what the hell you want. When you walk out my door, I have a drug policy. My drug policy is no drug on my compound. If you want to smoke a weed by the gate before you enter on the government road, that's your business. Deal with the consequences of that. But do not bring that roach, that butt, into my compound, because you'll see a different me. That's my policy. So it's the very same thing when you're dealing with someone. You have this relationship with the person. If the person goes home and have an issue that they want your little support and say, having a hard day today, things are not too well, and you'll try to support them. Or I'm not feeling well, you'll say, well, have a hot cup of tea, I wish I was there to take care of you. But are you saying these things? You mean it, but you know you can't be there. You know you cannot be there. So if the person tells you now, I am going to do so and so, or my wife and I are going out, we're going to the movies. Why are you going to the movies with she? You're totally out of place. You're totally out of place to say something like that. Because you have no right to be saying that. Absolutely none.
I could
that is little children thing. Little children do those things, not big adults. Adults not supposed to be doing those things.
No, when
you are supposed to be an adult all the time and to understand the level of maturity you need to show for those things. Because if the proverbial spit hit the fan, according to Skippy.
What kind of spit?
Spit, the spit. The one you like.
For what?
Proverbial.
Okay, I can't pronounce it. Yeah.
If that hits the fan, it's going to affect your family. And you may not understand that. I can't be sitting down with my family, my spouse and children and whatnot, and wondering what you're doing with your family. The thought might cross my head, but I have to put that out of my head.
Yeah.
And if I know you are with your family having a good time, why should that affect me? I shouldn't be sitting down there moping and saying, why are you having a good time, boy? You should be happy for the person. Because a relationship is about empowering the other person, making that person feel better about themselves. The minute the person doesn't feel better about themselves because of the relationship, get out of it. Get a taxi, call Uber, jump in it and go. And I'm serious about that. But a lot of times we let our emotion get in the way. We become so emotional about the situation. They say, boy, I like him so much, and that's just the way he is. If that is just the way it is, going to get worse. Because you're allowing him.
You'll get deeper into it, you see.
Correct. You are allowing him to be the son of a gun that he is. And if you allow that, it's only going to get worse. There's some teeth around here. Hide things, boy. What? Almost lost it just now,
Anyway, folks, taking your chance now, 17 minutes after 10 o'clock, you are on the inside of Sexplosion with your host, Dr. Raj, running in of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine. And for those of you who would love to interact with him right now in studio, feel free to 2228255, also at 6128255. If you do decide, however, to send him a text message or a WhatsApp, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. You're listening to a program that's informative, educational, and of course entertaining, exclusively on Power 102 FM, real radio for real people.
I am a 31-year-old female. I like to be in control sexually. I like to input sexual pain to my partner, at the same time ensuring he being pleasured or pleased, and I am fully pleased. Okay. If that gives you pleasure, well, fine. That's the way it should be. Remember, when you're doing something with your partner, you should be able to understand what the person like or don't like. And you must be able to provide that for your partner. If you want to strengthen your relationship, that's why sex is the cement that binds the relationship together. The more sex you put into the relationship, the stronger the bond becomes. But if you are weak in other areas, for example, emotional support, financial support, understanding, communication, everything is going to fall apart because the other ingredients are not going to be there. You can't just have cement alone. So some persons think that if sex great, the relationship is going to be great. It doesn't matter how I treat you. No. No. Because eventually that person is going to shut off.
Oh, yeah.
She or he is going to switch off, and the sex is going to be terrible because they're going to just lie there and let you go through the motion, and you think you're having a great time when you're not. Because it's like having sex with a corpse. And I've heard people describe it that way, and I could only imagine what it would be like to be with someone who you're having intercourse with and they're not reacting to you because of the way they feel about you. If a person don't feel good about you, if there is no wanting to satisfy you, that person is just going to lie down there and say, well, do you do what you have to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have known women who are very sensual and very sexual, and their husband have been they turned off for them and they can't get an erection for their wife. Many men will complain about erectile dysfunction, and they don't realize it is because you have literally signed off from your wife. She is no longer the person who is going to turn you on. And that's something that is becoming quite common.
But the outside,
because if a woman, forget the outside woman, not every man who has a bad relationship have an outside woman.
What I'm saying, if you cannot get up for your wife, how it is that you will get up for the outside person?
Easily. Because you have no feelings for this person, it's not going to happen. But if you have feelings for somebody else, it's going to happen with that person because the feelings is there. So it's going to happen. You're going to feel good about this person, the person is going to turn you on, and it's going to happen.
Okay.
The excitement is already there in the brain. If the excitement is not there, it's not going to happen. And many a times, that's why a person or people will want to do different things to cause that stimulation within the brain that gives you that sexual charge to want you to have intercourse in different ways. Intercourse is not only penetration, you know. If you think that intercourse is just sex, right, and you don't put the other elements into it, you're failing. The foreplay has to come into it. The mind games have to come into it. The sexual mind games. I'm not talking mind games where you're trying to fool the person.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the sexual mind games. The things that you say to one another. The way you express yourself to the person. The way the person feels about you. Those are the elements that you need in the relationship for that sex to be good. Otherwise, it's just sex.
I want quote and done.
You're just doing it to get off. You're just doing it to get off. And if you want to do it to get off, you could go and pay someone to have sex. Many a times a person will go to a whorehouse. They will, of course, go to the person that they're attracted to, because everyone has an attraction to someone. It might be body size, it might be breasts, it might be lips, it might be hairstyle, toes, feet, buttocks. It could be anything that turns you on. When that particular trait in the individual, you might hear the person speak. They might be able to speak properly or speak your language. But once you are turned on by that element that you see in the person, you're going to be turned on, and you could go to bed with that person. And it's easy for a male to do that. That's why a male could pay for sex. Women, on the other hand, there must be an attraction, some sort of attraction. There must be chemistry between you and that person. The emotions must be there. She must be willing to share her body with you, because it comes about from that attraction. It could be a mind thing with them also, because women are also attracted to men who they think or they get that feeling of brilliance from, or importance. You know why women are attracted to men? Because of their job, because of who they are. That is a natural thing, because women are conditioned from the very beginning, just as how we are hunters and gatherers. They're conditioned to look towards a man who could take care of them. So if they see you as a powerful politician, a successful businessman, a personality, an entertainer, they know that is the kind of person who will have the wherewithal to take care of them. So they gravitate towards that. That's why women are very fanatical about men. When women become a fan of a man, she is a fan of that man. That's where you become fanatical. That's where the word fan comes from. It's not just a natural thing of, oh, I'm just a fan of him. It's, I will do anything for him. I will take out my drawers and throw it on the stage, which I have seen many times. Entertainers performing on the stage, and women take out their panties and throw it on the stage, and their bra. What are you doing when you tell a man that? If a woman takes out a panty and throw it at you, what is she telling you? That whatever this was protecting is yours.
Well, of course. As a matter of fact, you couldn't even wait for the sound to finish on stage.
That's what she's telling you. I remember a movie with Pam Grier, Foxy Brown.
Foxy, yeah. She had an afro.
You remember the scene where she was, they were in a getaway, and the police was after them, and she took off her panty and she threw it at the police to blindfold him.
She was foxy, you know.
Brown, boy.
And she was brown.
God, I love that woman.
Yeah, she's still around, you know.
Yeah, no, you don't have to tell me that. I can tell you everything about her.
I saw her on the avenue last week.
That is not the Pam Grier I'm talking about. Not that one, not the guy who doesn't look like her.
That guy does look like her too?
Well, obviously, that's what you saw.
No, I saw her. It was a cousin. But they look alike. Anyway, folks, taking more time, 25 minutes after 10 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 102 FM with your sexologist, your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. Tell you what we are going to do is take a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Protect your home and loved ones with All Pro Security Watchdog Wireless Burglar Alarm System. Call 299-0600 and get protected from $500. Watchdog sensor protects your doors, windows, and burglar proofing and alerts you when trouble strikes. Watchdog's built-in home automation system allows you
Wait, that's not
your lights and your cameras from your phone. Watchdog is All Pro Security's command center where professionals respond 24 hours, 7 days a week. Call All Pro Security at 299-0600 and get Watchdog installed for just $500. All Pro Security for home or
Well, they have 5 moments to get cracking.
Let me lift my chair, I want to front. Oh, family! If the family give me a yawn, they should not take up the whole wall. Damn!
Manage your finances.
Wow.
And develop winning business pitches.
And she on it in stereo.
Plus 299-0209 extension 2661. That's 299-0209 extension 2661. Find us on Facebook. Community Business Incubator.
Behave yourself.
She said she could do something else in stereo too.
What? Oh, I didn't hear that. What you gonna do? Eh?
Best music and personalities.
Tired from shit. Hey! Oh, I'm so confused. Coming to join you, Elizabeth. But I ain't joining my pocket. Eh?
Show him again.
Yeah.
But it's stereo.
Family.
It's supposed to be stereo.
Family. You have on good makeup.
Woo! I think that's a trap. If I was you, I go report it to the police. No, I will leave the studio and drive down to the station. Central Police Station is the closest one. Go and report it.
So when you go in after?
Go and report it.
So when you go in after?
Take your phone and film it and go down and report it, yeah? They say, don't bother me until it's done.
No what?
They will say, don't bother us until it's done.
Get car safe from Air Support Tactical Security. They maintain a 100% recovery rate using their military trained response teams and advanced online tracking solution. Call Air Support today at 225-8725 or visit them on Facebook at Air Support GPS.
Look at my sweet family.
Peace of mind.
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you. With the Doctor of Sex, Dr. Raj.
Hi, this is Dr. Raj. I am on Power 102.
Oh, yeah, forget you have that thing.
I'm the
You have that thing in your tongue.
Exciting once again.
What is that?
The what do you call it? The tongue.
Tongue.
I was trying to remember
Cisco?
where I saw that. I know it must somebody in studio had it, and I couldn't remember who. And you know, she now do that, and now remember.
She's no longer with us.
No, she's the one that had it. She.
Oh, I thought you meant the other person who no longer is with us.
Oh no. Anyway, there you go. Well, taking what time is now 29 minutes after 10 o'clock. Sexplosion on this Friday evening with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center of St. Augustine. And for those of you who are experiencing sexual problems, that is the place to go. Commodity Street. Don't forget. And if you would love to interact with him via the telephone, feel free. 2228255. Also at 6128255. Feel free. Yeah. Carefully break it back there.
And for those who want to come in tomorrow,
tomorrow.
Yes, they can walk in.
Yeah, they can,
Why am I chair just doing this?
No, but for a minute I thought you was in a recliner.
All of a sudden my chair just went.
Yeah, I just wouldn't like it to tilt back a little more.
No, I don't want that. What's causing that?
The chair, don't forget, this is different, right? This is a different chair.
You ever get licks like a stepchild? You ever see a stepchild get licks?
Yeah, pull on my arm.
I'm trying to figure out where I am or what's happening here. Badly treated boy.
Yeah, hey, look.
Miranda MM says, Somebody ask, is it a secret? How can I? Okay. This person asking question like they are police boy or a detective. Don't do that.
Oh, yeah, just for the benefit of our listeners, Dr. Raj is not speaking to me, but he's speaking to the angels.
I am not speaking to you. I know I'm not speaking to you.
Don't forget, you have to. Don't forget, man.
Yeah, but
okay, cool.
I don't worry about that.
I know that. Anyway,
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Don't pay attention. You never noticed?
Now that you mentioned.
No, don't ever.
2228255. Also at 6128255. Sexplosion, Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime program when it comes to sex education with the guru of sex. The host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center. Feel free. Yeah.
Lovely night to you, Dr. Raj from Gilan. Hi, how are you? Norwich. Zeus in the building. I hope.
Who's that?
Zeus.
Zeus?
Yeah. Oh. I feel so relaxed. I don't feel like doing program anymore. Could I just look at the angels and you could look at them and just feel relaxed?
You can. Oh, yeah. As long as they don't tilt.
Only look like all in the jungle, so you don't look. You notice that?
No, they look.
No, watch what I'm talking about. You notice that they're looking like they're in the jungle. Don't say it. Yeah. But just try to figure it out.
If they was a little bit older, I would have said they are cool.
Imran, they're very ugly. That's why we don't show their face. You're right. Yeah.
What do you want to find out?
Imran wants to know why we're not showing the.
Somebody asked me that too, but I didn't.
No, they're very ugly. That's why we can't show their picture. They have face for radio.
Yeah. Somebody asked the same question.
Yeah, so
anyway, folks,
we leave it like that.
Yeah, 28 minutes before 11 o'clock. Sexplosion with the guru of sex education. Don't forget our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with him via telephone, get some advice. Feel free at 2228255. Also at 6128255. Nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education.
And you know, you ask Imran what is his name, and he say Ravi. So Imran, since you are a liar, because whenever you send a message, comes up under your right name, So, yeah.
So in other words, what he's doing is fooling.
Why did I call your name? Because you told me you're Ravi, and you're a liar. That's why I call you Imran, because whenever you send a message, your right name comes up. Okay, Imran? People don't realize how stupid they are, you know. Eh?
So what he was doing was giving you a...
No, he giving me a false name, but he want to insult the angels and say they're ugly. So I call out his real name.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it unless, but since he insulted them, I decided to do it.
And you could have gone worse. You could have even called out his number.
I would have called out his number too.
No, easy.
So Imran, I could call out your number too, and everybody will know who you are. You know?
No, ease him up. Ease him
up. Good night to you all. Tobago is inside, locked on. Hey, we haven't said pleasant good evening to Tobago for a long time.
No.
To the folks in Tobago, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, all the islands who are listening to the program, pleasant good evening to you.
Mentioned them enough.
Yes, we have not said hello to them in a long time, and that's remiss of me. I'm very sorry about that.
And,
so Imran, don't play the fool with me, eh? Thank you.
And don't forget, for those of, with connection, family, what happened? Is it okay?
I don't know what's happening with you, Junior.
No.
I am sitting here doing my program.
No, I see.
What?
I see you.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Nah, you can see that.
Family.
You want some too?
No, but family. Okay. And we haven't said Grenada. Anyway, folks, taking return 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. I'll tell you, this is what it's all about on a Friday evening. Sexplosion with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj. Yeah.
I leave it up to the ladies now, Let them carry on the program. I done. I time to go home.
No. You can't leave here now, man. You can't leave down. If you tell me you have a feeling a little nervous.
I feel a little shaky. Yeah.
Shaky.
Yeah. You know, like how you was feeling when you get a shower?
Hey.
You ever had 3 women bathe you? Two?
If 3 women bathe me, I feel like Julius Caesar.
If 3 women bathe you, you'll fall off?
No, eh? Who, me? No.
Nandi says, why you want to look at the link tomorrow, Nandi, when you could look at us live? I find Nandi's a very attractive woman. Eh?
Who?
Nandi.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't know her?
No.
You never saw her?
No.
Never met her?
No.
Okay.
Where she's from then?
I don't know where she's from. How would I? Do you think I know where every woman is from in Trinidad?
No, that means you have a good memory. I know that for sure.
Yeah, that's true. I have a good idea where she's from.
You see?
South. Far south.
Far south.
The place where it is going to that tall thing. Do you remember the name of it? The place? Not the thing? The thing you had in the back seat with you.
That
Hug it up.
The fruit that looked like a woman, it was so big. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I remember now.
What is the name of the fruit?
Yeah. It was good.
If you say them, none of them here will know what it is.
I can't remember the name though. What?
Kawa.
You know Kawa?
What's the other name for it? And what's the other name for it?
Is she right first?
Yeah,
she's right.
Katahar.
Okay.
Right. She knows. He had to hug up one of that.
I went with family. I didn't even have time to smell it. It was so big.
He hung it up like a woman.
I'm telling you.
All the way from deep south.
Deep south, and when we pass traffic, a fellow people out, he said, I like your girl. He said, but she has no eyes. I said, I know she kind of, no frightened, she's sleeping. What cataract. Kawa. Yeah. Kawa. Anyway, folks, taking more time, 23 minutes before 11 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with one of the most trusted names in sex education, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine. And for those of you who might be experiencing something sexual that might be bothering you, this is the forum for it. Feel free. 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. Yeah. Okay, we got a caller on the line here. Let's see. Yeah. Hi, hello, and welcome to Sexplosion. Good evening.
Good night.
Hi.
Yeah, Dr. Raj.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah. 51 years old, right? And at that age, what do you think, what booster you are there to give you a little pep up like in the sex drive? And I'm not sure that's a question. But you know, like, I get a little pep up now, a little boost up. What you recommend there?
Well, if
Shiny jokes, man, a very shiny thing, eh? But I think, I could do that boost. I'm just still up here.
Okay, if you are looking for a sexual boost, you can use a product called EE, which is erectile enhancer. EE for short. That's the best thing. It's safe. It's all natural. There's no drug in it whatsoever, and it gives you a good boost.
EE, right?
EE. The letter E and the letter E, capital. EE. No, not egg.
Two E's.
They go look for. You see, they're looking for that. They look for two G's. What you saying? You feeling sleepy? Because you watching me in paradise. Right now, I'm being taken care of. It's like I have gone to a spa.
Yeah.
You feeling what?
Feeling it too.
You feeling it too? You know, you know how lovely this feels to be doing a program and you're being massaged.
Well, it all depends on where.
It doesn't matter where.
It doesn't matter.
No. A massage is a massage.
I said massage is oh, wow.
Oh God, here comes trouble.
Well,
you have no idea what just happened. What is happening? What is going on right now? If I was you, see, same police, I was going to report it. Call them.
Call them.
What's going on?
This next one. This
Are
one,
you jumpy so?
This next one is like a jumping jack.
Jumpy, take care.
Do anything.
You see what I'm telling you?
I have nothing to say. I just like being me, you know.
Yeah.
If it's what?
Mini me.
No, I'm not mini me. It's major me.
Anyway, folks, taking our time 20 minutes before 11 o'clock. I tell you, this is what it's all about. When you're tuned into Sexplosion, taking sex education to a whole new level with the guru of sex education, Dr. Raj, and your host of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out of St. Augustine. And tell you what, our lines are open. We are taking your calls. For those of you who might be experiencing something sexual that might be bothering you, feel free. 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Yeah.
Yeah. As I say, what? It kind of wake me up there.
I find so. You got up, eh? no, you got
you're trying to put another meaning to what I said.
No, you got up.
Rosanna Rodriguez is on.
Hey,
beautiful
Rosanna,
woman.
yes.
Beautiful,
Rosanna,
beautiful, sexy woman.
Real family man. Rosanna. Yeah. Don't drop a seat there.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
You realize I have a spread eagle right now?
Yeah, well, family, them have hands like our octopus.
Not only hands. Not only hands. Don't watch under the table. Eh? You might be blinded.
No, don't watch under the table.
Don't what?
Octopus.
No, don't watch under the table.
Wait, said occupy.
Oh, yeah, more hands. Boy, if you see hands. Family, they're playing poker. Hands like peas.
Tutulbe, that's the word.
Tutulbe. It is plural. Yeah. Nobody says good.
That's how you say it.
Look at this one that was sleeping all the time.
Yeah.
She up now.
You got a pep pill?
Yeah. I do have no cut to have no pus. Octopus. Yeah.
Somebody says they love the program.
Yeah.
Love your program. How would I know?
No, it's somebody.
People just lie so much. They're just afraid to tell you the truth. So next thing they say, I am a female and they're really a man. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, you have to be careful when it comes to that.
Good night, Dr. Raj. I'm always locked on. Thank you. I know you are, my dear. That's Rosanna.
Okay.
That is one of our loyal listeners.
Oh.
How come you ask me where she's from?
Rosanna.
Oh, you know her? Yes, I forgot.
Rosanna, yeah.
Ooh. Do that again? Yeah, right here. Right, that's the spot. That's the spot.
That is spot.
He wished that was happening.
No, I'm cool. Not cool. You know your brother.
You're cool?
Yeah. I am. What is the word you usually use?
Cool as a cucumber?
No.
What?
When somebody's watching.
You're voyeuristic.
Hey, that is you. Hey, if this was a game show, you win a fridge.
I want that for them.
Hey, that was good, dude.
Could I have the microwave inside?
Yeah. That is you. Yay. You're good. Anyway, folks, taking more time, 17 minutes before 11 o'clock. Folks, don't forget, even though we are active in studio, our lines are open for those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj. Feel free. 2228255, also at 6128255. Nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education on a Wednesday and Friday, exclusively on Power 102 FM. Yeah.
I'm looking for the termite, you know, because by now they just have a termite all on the ground there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to be careful of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it'll be. You nasty girl. Such a nasty girl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good night, doctor. I did not know Chana was so healthy. Chana is very healthy.
Yeah.
Especially soaked in milk overnight.
How long?
Overnight.
No, but how long? Okay, you know how they say oysters takes a little while.
Of course it takes a little while. You have to
settle.
digest.
Yeah, but how long does chana?
Same thing. It has to digest it. If you drink chana soaked in milk, or not drink, eat it today, you're not going to get a reaction out of it right away. As a matter of fact, it has to build up in the system to do what it's supposed to be doing.
So you have to take it over a period of
time. Of course. You ever had raw chana? No, anyway, what all you do with raw chana soaked in milk? You eat that already? No, well. We're not talking about Durga Puja here. Or Hanuman Puja here. Yes, but I'm talking about raw chana soaked in milk for your back.
Not good for your back.
It's good. I know somebody who needs some for more than the back. For the crack.
I lost. I'm not even close.
You see, we have had the privilege of witnessing certain things that you have not had the privilege of. And when you witness those things, and you realize the capability of certain people, who you may know very well, but you did not know their capabilities, and you see their action, and you realize the reality of it, it's thing to be very afraid. Very, very afraid.
No. You emphasize on that very, very, you know.
Because she said she's practicing for you.
But you really come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things you'll have to do. Lick up.
As long.
Lick down. Lick across.
As long as not wearing nothing in white.
Oh, God. You don't go there. That is the next step, you know. That is the next step. Let me ask the angels if they will come to a toga party. Would you all come to a toga party? Nothing underneath, just wrapped in white cloth or sari. A sari could do. 5 yards of cotton could do.
Yeah.
Junior likes to wear 3 yards of cotton, so a lot of him does be exposed. You remember the last toga party you went to?
Yeah. I think that is when things had not started.
I don't know.
No.
How would I know?
No.
I look like I'm your keeper. No. I look like I just write those things down.
I said, "Hail, Julius Caesar is here." I say, "Family, you're the right church, but the wrong pew. This is not this family here." But it was good.
It's always good when you're having.
And you have grapes and in toga parties you have grapes and apples and you know that, right?
And chocolate angels, and wine.
Chocolate and wine and you know. So.
The wine is the crowning part of it.
The wine.
Yes, the wine, the right wine.
Yeah, the right. Well, you see, but if you start on the left, it means the left-handed.
You see how she whining?
They go, hey.
Yeah, but you see how she whining?
Who?
What's how she whining? Show him how you're whining.
That's who say wine. You only need 2 tassa. But you're good. Hey. No, that's good. Beautiful. This next month, like she out of the picture altogether.
No, she's not out of the picture. She doing right now. She is doing a very good job.
She's doing a good job.
And leave her with that. Do not try to get her attention.
No, I know. I haven't heard from her for quite some time.
Right now, she's drinking her tea.
Oh, she's drinking her tea. Oh.
And play with something that rhymes with tea. TT. Nobody ever tried to come for TT?
Family, what's this? I know it. What? Made in Japan. Oh, Japan with a capital. No, it's not. It's Japan, a capital J.
You just hug with the cup.
And I now take and I find it light, eh? Anyway, folks, taking our time 10 minutes before 11 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj, of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center up at St. Augustine. And for those of you who are seeking sexual things that are bothering you,
Rosanna wants to see the wine herself, so she'll have to come to the toga party. So Rosanna, we'll invite you to the toga party and you'll...
Yes.
So you'll see the wine.
Yeah.
One of the guys requested to go through the entire... Wait, let me read that. To go through the entire things with the mistresses, but there must be an audience looking on. Okay.
You know that ain't not hard for you to arrange.
No, but you want to be in the audience?
Well, I mean, I hear, man.
But next, you know, one of them turn on you.
Right.
If you want to make an appointment to come to the Adult Therapy Center, you call 645-9829 or 645-4543. And Rosanna says, yes, she wants well, I guess she wants an invitation, so we'll invite her for next week Saturday. Careful.
You might get what you wish for. Oh! No problem. Anyway, folks, taking our time 10 minutes before 11 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM. Tell you what we are going for. You guessed it right. We're going for a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Rosanna, send me your number 7401961. Send me your number so I'll save it and send you the invite. Yes, ready. Go. Don't stop. Well, I wanted to see more. No biting. You and your big horse teeth biting people. Before she get bited, she's one lash. Don't bite. Whap. Huh? Yeah. Once they go chow. So you just chew gum? Chop.
For startups, entrepreneurs, and small businesses. Ready to grow your business? Then the career business.
You know, darling. Well, anyway, you didn't get a pen, so. Right. What are you doing? What? Well, go ahead. Well, go ahead. If you beat my foot for a pen, what else are you going to do? Tell me.
Find us on Facebook.
What, Junior like he lost. You can lean across, you know. You can lean closer. Move the boobies sooner. Right, fit yourself in there. You? She don't understand English.
Yeah, all the mouth you have. Look at you.
No, well, move.
Look at all the mouth here.
Let me see the boobies.
You have mouth.
Let me see the boobies from underneath.
According to my grandmother, speak to the hand. All the mouth you have, you see, all the mouth. Where breaks in from? What? So this closed doors. What your breaks in?
It closed.
That can't see you. No. Yeah, only family where guys come from. She should vote for the new party, Mouta. All the mouth you have.
What? You're sucking the boob or what are you doing? Put it in your mouth. Yeah, put it, right. Don't let it bite it. Don't bite it. Why are you so?
All the mouth you have. Ice family.
The left side, yeah. Oh.
Ice family.
Well, do it if she hand cold.
Cold?
She want to warm it up. Or do it till it's satisfied.
My family only have mouth, boy.
I bet you if she do it, you would say she hand cold.
I tell you, all your family only have. Well, exactly.
Play with it.
Family
oh yes. Oh yes.
That is what we're talking about. That is what we're talking about. Rastafari. Yes, I.
You seen Ja?
No, I just saw piece of Ja here.
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on Power 102.
Why are you coughing so? What up? I hear going to your throat. I know. Exposing you, pulling away. What about you, girl? Don't do that. Open sesame. Open sesame. Oh, open sesame.
Well, I could definitely tell you that you are making radio an experience by itself when you are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out of St. Augustine, where he, the sex doctor, treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Now, for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone, feel free. 2228255, also at 6128255. If you are sending in a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 7401961.
I am that flexible. You realize it's me, right? Oh. You realize that, right? Okay.
You're 6 feet? No, you're 6 feet. No, I'm serious. This is no joke.
I'm not 6 feet. I'm 5 feet 11.
No, because the way you talk there, look, you know.
What?
Yeah.
What?
See,
Oh, it wasn't height we talking about?
No. No.
What are they talking about?
I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know where.
Your tongue long, girl. Holy crap.
Your tongue could cut across Abercrombie Street and still be on Park Street.
You actually touching your boobs.
Tongue can reach there.
Let's see. I like the noise you're making. Keep your tongue going.
Anyway, I can definitely tell you that we are the driving force when it comes to sex education. And for those of you who are listening to Sexplosion for the very first time, Sexplosion is on a Wednesday and Friday, right here at Power 2.1 FM from 9 p.m. with the Sexologist, the only one in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj. Now, for those of you who would love to interact with Dr. Raj,
this is the program to interact with.
Feel free, 2228255. That's 2228255, also at 6128255. There's a certain person that calls here when the angels are here. Waiting to hear if that person called. You know who it is, right? We don't know. Okay.
No, I don't know. I'm at a loss. Use the band on the board, you know. Remember, I tell you, you have control over everything. Oh my God. Yeah.
Down south. You going south? What
he's afraid of south, you know.
Angel, what is your problem?
If you
Angel, do you in particular, what is your problem?
What is your
problem?
Literally lick you up.
Oh gosh.
All these cat hairs.
What's that?
The cat, yes. Well, it was shaved.
Anyway, yes, this is what it's all about. Don't forget our lines are open 2228255, also at 6128255. Sexplosion on this Friday evening with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out at St. Augustine, where the sex doctor treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. And if you have something that is bothering you that deals with sex, well, you can give him a call right now in studio 2228255, also at 6128255. Yeah.
And if you have something bothering you otherwise, could I complain to management?
Yeah. You can do you can do that as well.
Pleasant good night to Natalia. She's not feeling herself right now.
Of course. So. Remember when your grandmother used to do that? Something not nice enough.
I think Natalia needs a good massage.
She does.
To relax and recuperate. That kind of massage.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
Somebody close shop, boy. Open shop. Yes.
Somebody close shop?
Yeah, no, I was just saying. You know, when shop closed, when shop closed, you can't go and buy that.
No, I know shop usually closed during the day, like long ago, after lunch. This next one, family here, is she a trip or no?
Me?
Yeah, you look like you have a lot. She look like you have a lot of mouth. Not meaning in that way, eh?
But you see the size of she mouth, watch? She have a lot of mouth.
She have a lot of mouth.
Yeah, when they were showing mouth, she just was there for a long time.
She went first.
A longer time.
Please do.
You didn't expect that, huh?
I didn't expect that. Like, she's now coming out of her shell. Anyway, folks, taking time 11 o'clock in Trinidad and Tobago. Dr. Raj and the Angels on a Friday evening, right here on Power 2.1 FM. Nobody does better what we do best when it comes to sex education. Yeah, 2228255, also at 6128255. Feel free to interact with us. Yeah.
The ladies have a complaint to you, Junior.
What's that?
It's so
Cold.
Too used to cold.
Cold. The air conditioner off.
You need to come in the middle.
Well, they're feeling cold.
They're feeling cold.
They need somebody to warm them up. And it can't be me. I have a program to run.
I run in the board.
Oh, you run in the board. You have to get somebody else to come down here, boy.
I can help you on the board.
Which one of you guys want to come volunteer and come down here?
Yeah, hey, look. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that will be, as a matter of fact, that will be great.
Just you and Junior alone.
Yes.
Right there, that. Right there.
Right.
And right here.
Yeah.
This person listening to the program, I just told them if they need to call Imran, it's 645-9829 or 645-4543. Call for an appointment and you can come in. If not tomorrow, you can just walk in. We allow drop-ins.
Yeah, but what time tomorrow? The office is open. The therapy center.
From 12 noon.
From 12 to
Ravi said he want to come down. This is another Ravi, not the false Ravi. This is a real Ravi. Ouch. You realize they're torturing me right now, right?
Yes, well, well, yes. Yeah.
Wait, you feel if you say you want to tie me up, that's a threat? Please do.
Yeah.
The only thing I want to do my program. Sweetheart, just remember that anything you conjure up in your mind, anything that you could conjure up in your mind, I have been through it already. Yeah?
That's okay.
Once, twice, and maybe 3 times.
And 3 times.
And if the first time I do it and I didn't like it, I'll say no more.
3 times a lady.
Catherine says good night, guys. Oh, that feels so good. I know it's supposed to be painful. I know it's supposed to be painful, but it feels good. She's actually trying to inflict pain on my... Okay.
No.
Still not painful?
No.
You don't get into this. You don't interfere with this. Okay? You like salt. You want to be in everything. Stick to what you know best.
And what's that?
Eh?
What's that?
Threatening you. Suck it. Ooh, that would be nice. Let's see that.
Take it out. You suck this one, and suck this one, and you suck this one.
Junior, you're not.
What's that?
You're a sucker? You're a sucker?
Are you a sucker or a liquor?
A liquor?
Or a sucker?
Or a sucker?
A woman asks you a question like that answer?
Yeah, but what do you think? A liquor? Yeah.
Why can't you be both?
Hey, Robert, how are you?
You see you? Deal with you.
Robert, where are you now? Hong Kong? Where are you? Where are you? You're all over the world. Every time I look for you, you're all over the place. I think he's in Hong Kong right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And where you are?
I'm in
Japan.
I'm in Trinidad in the studio. Now this is Robert Tidy.
Oh.
Robert Tidy. Yes.
Anyway, for
Shenzhen. He's in Shenzhen. That's in China.
we have music. No, we have music playing in the studio as well.
If we have music playing in the studio,
Yeah, that the angels could hear.
maybe they have Chinese in it.
No, because
They're dancing without music.
Yeah, more than
Yeah, but it's
dancing.
what they're doing to one another. That is what you have.
No.
You see, you have to be a commentator.
No.
You never watch cricket.
Yeah, but this one into the gully.
No.
and he comes up to
No,
bowl.
not so.
No,
Not
no,
so.
no, no.
Not so. You have to put some excitement into it.
No.
You have to put some excitement into it. You have to commentate on what's going on with the angels.
Yeah, but the family.
I am here to answer the sexual questions and deal with the sexual things.
But family, the angels, and the master must clothes. They are more clothes than Abud.
No, she has that cloth for a reason because they told her it's cold.
Oh, it's cold. You still feeling cold?
Chadar, they call that chadar.
Okay.
Chadar. If you come a little so, it will reach so, you know. They are trying to get it to reach. They check in. They check in.
Anyway, folks, taking our time, 7 minutes after 11 o'clock. You are on the inside of Sexplosion with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center of St. Augustine. And for those of you who might have something sexual on your mind that is bothering you, feel free. You can give him a call, chat with him right here, 222-8255. Also at 612-8255. If you do decide that you want to send him a WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile 740-1961. Yeah.
Michelle says, locked on, guys. And I'm still waiting on Rosanna's phone number so I can save it here. So let's get this straight. You all will be there for the event.
What's that?
If the no, stop that.
What's that?
What you just do?
The chair squeaking.
Yes, why is this chair making all that noise?
I thought it was your chair.
No, it's yours.
Mine?
Yeah.
Lean back there.
Well, I wanted to know something going on. Stop that. Yeah, as we were saying, yeah.
So, the mistresses will be there. You all will be there. Junior would be there. I would be there. Who is the volunteer to... Rosanna is going to be there. Who is the volunteer going to be... we need somebody to volunteer now. Male or female, what do you want? It's tough to much a woman. Let me have... For what the mistresses will be doing and the toga party.
Exciting. Sounds exciting, huh?
Come on, guys, volunteer.
What does the chain do to you?
I think
So you want a couple or two separate individuals? A husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, a guy and a girl. Okay.
We want two different people.
They shouldn't know each other. All right. So we're looking for volunteers.
See, my mind is already there.
Well, just tell us what you're thinking about.
Suspended by their hands from the ceiling.
And what else?
Blindfolded, hands restricted, feet apart.
Oh, usually spread apart or further apart?
Further.
And what will we do? Say what we will be doing. I want to know.
All the works I'm changing.
You like using a paddle?
We're going to tell the dominatrix girls what to do.
You are going to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
That'll be something.
Yeah, very interesting.
We're going to tell them what we want to see.
Yeah.
And what would you like to see? Hey, Brian, how are you, my friend? Maybe Brian would like to see that. I'm sure Brian would like to see that.
Brian?
Yeah. Good friend of mine.
How can I say a special hello to Paul?
Paul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Paul.
Paul, mother.
Come.
Paul?
I want somebody to beat. Like, real beat.
Wait.
Who?
How that come into this?
Because you're talking about B&D.
So you like B&D too?
No, I want to do it to somebody. I want to beat them.
You want to be there.
Somebody who likes it.
Face and just...
I heard you did that to somebody. Don't feel like getting reported. Or?
I just whip them.
Male or female?
Female.
Hey, you know, we men just get left out.
I tell you, left in the gate.
Brian says sure.
Brian.
So Brian is volunteering.
Brian.
I know he would. I know he would.
Brian, let's see you. So we'll be expecting.
Brian, you coming single or
We need to see.
with the other half?
We need sex.
What do you want to see Brian for? Brian, you'll see him when he comes. You want to see a picture of him? No, take my word for it.
I want to beat Junior. You still on this. I want to tie you up.
You want to tie me up?
Spread it like a fart.
Mm-hmm.
Spread your hands of fart.
Yeah.
Blindfolded.
Have them in cuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, legs for that.
And Brian is coming with the other half. He said he's coming with the other half.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
I'm beat.
ABC Sports.
Gillette. What you meant Gillette?
I need a Mario this time.
You need a what?
A Mario.
What's
a
it?
Mario?
Yeah.
Break that down for us.
A pizza? Mario Brothers? Explain what you mean by that.
Andy, can you explain a Mario? Andy?
Andy?
Could you explain Mario?
Our Andy?
Yes, our Andy.
What, he's a pizza delivery guy?
Yeah.
Something we don't know?
We deliver. Don't worry.
You see, you and Andy? I don't know what to say there. If it's the same Andy I'm thinking about, or
Yes, same
if it's some other Andy.
Same Andy.
Family, don't think of fast. But what Racha below the paper machine? What is this?
What, something shredded?
Hey, family. You could open.
Let me see.
You could open your own newspaper.
Where that come from?
I have no idea. It was here. It's a tiger.
Somebody's cat is on the loose.
You ever see a cat on the loose?
Come get it.
Somebody puts the cat, get away. Hold that cat here. UFO is trying to send a message here. Junior said, just say he will lick she up his tongue so long. UFO will take the whip, okay. UFO said he'll take the whip.
You have to say no?
Huh?
What he said?
He said he will take the whip, okay.
Whip or lick?
Whip, W-H-I-P. He ever no lick from Junior?
Well, I won't, but family, I won't even thinking, I won't have anything but
How are you going down that road?
That
Junior does look like that, eh?
Yeah.
That's right. Junior does look.
Eh?
That's what they say.
Anyhow.
Because they say they always invited you to their get together.
They never invite me nowhere.
So they lie then?
No, they never invite me nowhere. Impossible. No.
Invite the man officially, so people will hear it on the air. Hear what? If you make an official invitation and he don't come, then all could come on.
Special event.
Who will be the main event? Who? Who will be the main event?
Junior.
You're a main attraction.
Well, let me see. First it was the Black Panther, now it's Junior. Hey, really going
You will make real money.
Really going guns.
If you're the producer, you'll make real money. I'll be the producer.
It's really going guns, man. Hey,
and we'll come and talk about it live and show it live.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Black Panther at the clinic for you.
For you.
For you.
Yeah, for me.
What stimulation you just use, girl? How you just all of a sudden? What's she doing to you? First of all, what's she doing to you? Because I can't see that far. Well, I'm not seeing any hands on the table.
You can't see, because I can't see the hands either.
I'm talking about your hands.
Why is it so wet?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say the same thing.
And you're smelling it.
Oh, Jesus, family. That's not nice.
Yes, it is. Do you want to
Not
smell?
hey.
You want to taste it?
Lick it. No, lick it, let me see. No, not that. All right, come on, family.
The size of tongue she has.
Stick it out, let me see. Stick it out.
Ooh.
That's the only part.
You saw that just now?
Be a family, but tongue could go wrong the building.
But you saw what she did?
Oh yeah, she look, that angel looked like somebody that when they get in a position is turned out. I could be,
lightning storm.
I could be wrong. Eh?
What I can tell you, and this is from personal experience, seeing what she's capable of.
Yeah.
She's capable of anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Okay, give me a rundown. Okay, give me a rundown on this one. Give me a rundown on this young lady here, the one with the, like she going down in town. She looks a kind of quiet.
Don't misjudge the young lady.
No.
She will blow your mind.
Eh?
She'll blow your mind. She goes beyond. She goes extreme. Although she's in the middle, she's Miss Extreme. I wouldn't say she's that conservative or that less extreme, but she could go as far as she wants to go, but her mind has to take her there.
Okay. And what about the family here?
Do I have to explain that to you?
No, I was just testing you to see if you're paying attention. No, I was just testing you. I was just testing you. No, just testing. No, serious.
Don't trust her. She quiet.
Yeah.
She will bloat out something and she will do it. I think she stops to think about what could I do that is so different, that is going to just change things around, and it happens.
Yeah. Three very interesting young ladies.
And that's what I like. 3 different personality.
Yeah.
3 diverse individuals. See what I mean? At a moment's notice.
Yeah. Hey. Anyway, folks, taking what time is now 19 minutes after 11 o'clock. Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM. Well, tell you what we are going to do. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned.
Not by me. Maybe you. Never by me.
Watchdog sensor protects your doors, windows, and burglar-proofing, and alerts you when trouble strikes. Watchdog's built-in home automation system allows you to control your lights and view cameras from your phone. Watchdog is protected to all Pro Security's command center, where professionals respond quickly 24 hours, 7 days a week. Call all Pro Security at 299-0600 and get Watchdog installed for just $500. All Pro Security.
I better.
Or business. Call
Junior.
299-0600.
Come on, man. Better than that. Better than that.
You see?
For startups, entrepreneurs, and small businesses.
It will not finish.
To grow your business.
It will not finish.
Business Hatchery is the program for you. Learn how to target the right market.
That look like when in Morocco. No, like that. That look like when in Morocco. I know you had a seat for them.
No, yeah, what?
Yeah, but I know you had a seat.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
It
have.
Family run things now, man.
Run it. So, why am I exposed like that?
Career Business Incubator. Or visit www.cedcarii.com.
On behalf of the man.
Your Saturdays on Power 102 FM.
Oh, that feels so good.
With the best music and personalities to power your day. All day on a Saturday. Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane.
This is Capri, and you're listening to Power 102.
Power up your Saturdays on Power 102 FM. The power of music. Power up Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. all day on a Saturday on Power 102.
I'm feeling good. Actually feeling good. I know that. I can feel the love. I can actually feel the love.
It's power to go. Your car is for you to enjoy and benefit.
Some people just warming up their foot. I wouldn't say who, but they feel they're smart. They stick their foot in a gunge. No, they stick their foot in a gunge. And they're making it look like they're doing something, but all they do is just warming up their foot. Leave it right there. Right there. Right there. That's the correct spot, you see. God is good. I asked for it to be there, and it's there. I can't get damage on a carpet.
Save up to 25% on Wonders Eyewear style and technology. Visit us in store or online for details. Modern Optical, caring for your eyes.
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on Power 102. Empowering you. With the Doctor of Sex, Dr. Raj.
Hi, this is Dr. Raj. I am on Power 102 with Sexplosion and the Angel. It will be exciting once again.
Sexplosion with the Angel.
Wednesdays and
Don't show her and hide it. Just show her and leave her to do what she wants with it. Yes.
Empowering you.
Well, I could definitely tell you that you are making radio an experience by itself when you are on the inside of Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM with the only sexologist in the Caribbean, your host, Dr. Raj Ramnanan of Total Imaging, the Adult Therapy Center of St. Augustine, where the sex doctor treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Now, for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone, feel free to 228-255, also at 612-8255. Yeah.
Pleasant good evening to Marlene. Haven't spoken to you or seen you for a very long time. Kern, the boss. Yes, do that.
Somebody's having a nervous breakdown.
No, it's not a nervous breakdown. I think that they okay, the chair is making a little too much noise. It's distracting me. That's the person I was just talking about.
Oh, okay.
That picture was taken out in 1979.
Yeah, it looked like it looked like.
No, I took out that in 1979.
Sure. So you still got that, eh?
Oh yeah. Today is UFO.
Today.
Ooh. Something is going into a crease, a crack, a crevice.
Yeah.
Junior, something is wet across here.
It is, eh? Come see.
Yeah, I'm gonna come and see.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Junior.
Mm. That's a nice kiss. pull it across the table, you know. I am not part of that. Give me. Here, go ahead. I can't reach so far. Julia.
As a matter of fact, I'm just.
So all of a sudden Spanky come into this thing.
Sexy.
You asked me what a brick was. No, don't. Not that side, please.
Security Watchdog Wireless Burglar Alarm System. Call 299-0600 and get protected from $500. Watchdog sensor protects your doors, windows, and burglar proofing and alerts you when trouble strikes. Watchdog built-in home automation system allows you to control your lights and view cameras from your phone. Watchdog is protected to all Pro Security's command center, where professionals respond quickly 24 hours, 7 days a week. Call All Pro Security at 299-0600 and get Watchdog installed for just $500. All Pro Security for home or business. Call 299-0600 or visit www.allpro-security.com.
For startups, entrepreneurs, and small businesses ready to grow your business, then the Career Security is the program for you. Learn how to target your market
Oh, I thought you were able to do this, bro.
and develop winning business pitches and get weekly one-on-one extension 2661. That's 299-0209 extension 2661. Find us on Facebook, Community Business Incubator, or visit www.cedcarrii.com. Your Saturdays on Power 102 FM. This is Marshall Town, Power 102 FM. With the best music and personalities to power your day. All day on a Saturday. Sir Charles, Chris, DJ Maggie, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane.
This is Capri, and you're listening to Power 102.
Power up your Saturdays on Power 102 FM.
Yeah.
Power up Saturdays from 6 a.m. to
She
10
passed.
p.m. All day on a Saturday on Power 102. Empowering you.
Get all the news, sports, watch it and listen, all with the touch of a button on your handheld device. Download the official Power 102 FM app, free on any iPhone or Android mobile device. It's power to go.
Begin imagining with Value Optical and the start of the voyage of discovery with eyewear beyond your dreams. See the beauty beyond through lenses that transition you into the supernova of tomorrow. Open your eyes today and see your wonderland. Save up to 25% on wondrous eyewear style and technology. Visit us in-store or online for details. Value Optical, caring for your eyes.
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you. With the Doctor of Sex, Dr. Raj.
Hi, this is Dr. Raj. I am on Power 102 with Sexplosion and the Angel. It will be exciting once again.
Sexplosion with the Angel.
Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 p.m. on Power 102, empowering you.
Well, taking our time, it's now 19 minutes before 12 o'clock. You are on the inside of Trinidad and Tobago #1 nighttime program with your host, Dr. Raj of Total Image and the Adult Therapy Center out of St. Augustine, where the sex doctor treats all sexual dysfunctions in both male and female. Sexplosion on Power 2.1 FM, and especially for those of you who would love to interact with him via the telephone, feel free. 222-8255, also at 612-8255. If you are sending in WhatsApp or a text message, you can also do that on his private mobile, 740-1961. Yeah.
And the angels have just informed me after their session there that they're willing to take calls. So who want to call them and talk to them and say your fantasy or whatever, please keep it radio friendly. Don't let us have to cut you off.
Right.
Junior is in charge of the board and he can take you off very easy.
And don't forget the numbers you can call, 222-8255, also at 612-8255. Yeah.
Hey, Ravi is on. Our Ravi.
Hi, Ravi. Hey, Ravi.
So see, if the name was really Ravi, you would have got a nice Ravi.
I wonder if I can send him a text, boy.
He lost out there. What can I say?
Big time too, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So,